What's up everybody, and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at this Hydro Blue 2025 Ram 1500 Bighorn. This one is about $58,000. Let's go ahead and take a full look at what this truck is going to have to offer. Popping the hood, you will find the new Hurricane engine, and then this one is the quad cab. So we have a little bit longer bed, shorter cab versus the full crew cab. So going ahead, finding that hood latch. So this new Hurricane engine is actually a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder twin turbocharged motor with 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque. Has an 8-speed automatic transmission, 4-wheel drive of course. Curb weight is around 5,000 pounds, and this engine can tow around 11,500 pounds. This one has a 26-gallon fuel tank, and you can expect 17 miles per gallon in the city with 24 out on the highway. Taking a look at the styling for the 2025 Ram Bighorn, not really a crazy difference from the outgoing model. It still looks like a Ram, very simple. You're going to see the chrome trim on the upper portion of the grille fading into those headlights. Headlights look pretty nice and sleek. Got some chrome trim down below as well. All chrome throughout the center with Ram written out, and then just some black mesh for the center. Got a massive chrome bumper with all of your parking sensors, safety sensors, LED fog light. It's still unmistakably a Ram truck, so certainly looks the part. Hood has some sharp body lines on it, fading into the windshield. Got the really clean look, and this color looks gorgeous in the sun. Got the 1500 SST badge, and then a nice set of body colored fender flares all throughout. We have a set of 20-inch wheels finished in chrome. Then you're going to see a nice multi-spoke design. Got the Ram logo on the side, sharp body lines throughout the lower portion of the doors, and then just all plastic for all the trim, door handles, mirror caps. For the proportion, the side, of course you got that shorter cab, longer bed. Still looks pretty nice. I think they've done the proportions well. Obviously the buyer of this is a little bit more focused on the bed space and usability versus having the practical family truck like a full crew cab would be. You're going to see a set of red taillights, pretty simple. More chrome throughout the rear with all the badging, huge Ram logo, and then a chrome bumper with parking sensors, and I love the integrated dual exhaust. Got your trailer hitch, all the connections, backup camera as well, and then a soft open for the tailgate. This truck's also going to have a full painted bed liner, so a good way to just go ahead and get a spray in bed liner once you buy it. You're going to see some hooks all throughout it. Very simple bed in here, nothing really fancy about it, no steps or anything crazy. Lifting this up, doesn't really weigh much. And then moving on to the interior, on the key fob you're just going to get lock, unlock, remote start as well. And then let's take a look at these back seats. Much smaller door than a crew cab is going to have. Just got some plastic on it, really nothing fancy. And then a basic fabric interior, kind of a grayish black color. Headrest will fold down though for better driver visibility. And then we have the power operated sliding rear glass. No armrests or anything, but you do get air vents and then a little bit of storage with cup holders. Storage behind the seats. And then you can lift these seats up for extra storage space down to the floor. So hopping in here at 5'11" with the driver's seat at my height, this is a huge difference from the crew cab once again. So these seats do not move. They are very straight up, very short bases. Headroom is fine. However, my knees are in the seat in front of me, and I'm definitely not the most comfortable with the straight up back. The crew cab Laramie will have reclining back seats and miles of legroom. So that is the family truck for sure. This will be a really good work truck with enough amenities for, you know, day-to-day use and things like that. So okay back seat. And then front seats, you are going to get a little bit nicer. You do have soft touch padding, some fabric material as well. Of course, all your basic controls, storage as well, and then power controls on the seats. Same fabric material for everything, and then a grab handle up here. And then let's fire up the Hurricane engine. Roars to life. On the steering wheel, we can limit the gear for the transmission. Cruise control setting on the right side, some Bluetooth, and a control panel for the center screen. So you're going to see a small screen in the center, along with the analog gauges on the left and right. You can scroll through all sorts of vitals, and then continuing down into a few more. Stalk on the left for the turn signals, as well as the windshield wipers. Got the Ram logo, nice leather material. Headlights down below, interior dimming. You can adjust your pedals, electronic park and brake, and then just some black plastic material throughout the dashboard. You do have two glove boxes, opening that up, pretty good amount of space, and then lower one as well. So this has the smaller screen rather than the really long one. First time I've actually checked out this screen. You're still gonna get good information, and as you can see with apps, you have a few different items. You have all sorts of settings you're able to go into. You have settings here as well. And then going into more, you have your phone, audio, and then the home screen, which is configurable. So overall, not a bad little screen. Reverse, you have a nice backup camera as well. You're able to zoom in and out, especially for towing or something like that. Going back into park. Underneath that, you're gonna have volume, and then all of your fan speed and temperature controls. Really simple to do. Heated seats and steering wheel, tuning over on that right side, and then our gear select with all the four-wheel drive controls. You have your trailer brake adjustments, parking sensors, a few different plugs and auxiliaries, and then lots of storage. You can easily slide that back, which is a great touch to see. Some soft touch material and stitching, 2 different glove boxes in the center, and then you can see everything down there. We do have some math information on the back of that. And then one last look at the interior. Pretty much what you would expect, really unchanged from the outgoing model year. But nonetheless, decent overall. You have your dome lights, power rear glass, pop that open for sunglass holders, a thin mirror, and then even garage door buttons up above. All right, setting off in the newest Ram. That new 3-liter twin turbo motor is really, really nice. I was expecting this to have the V6, which I believe now is a V6 e-torque. So it's cool to see you can get a nicer engine in this rather than just a simple V6. Obviously the V8 is kind of gone, so that's no longer part of what a Ram is. No more Hemi in a truck like this, which is a little sad, yes, but this twin turbo motor is so effortless in the power delivery. It's really, really smooth. 8-speed transmission does a great job delivering the power. I'm kind of letting off the throttle as we approach the 4,000 RPM mark, just because this is a new truck with only 22 miles, so I want to respect the engine. But this thing is peppy. Plenty of power. This is really nice to drive. Give it a chance if you're not a fan and you only want a V8. This is really nice and much nicer to drive than the old V8 was. So normal driving, you know, for not even being a loaded up truck, kind of a basic one, honestly, it rides really smooth. I just filmed the Laramie, and this feels almost like the same ride quality. It's really comfortable. It absorbs bumps very nicely. And while these are just fabric seats, they're really comfortable. Good padding to them as well. Good seating position. You can really see around this truck nicely. Visibility is all fantastic, like any pickup truck is going to be. Brakes do a good job as well. So if you want kind of a work truck, I guess, plus, so it's not just a basic white work truck, you know, 2-door truck, this isn't a bad way to go. The back seats are decent, like I showed. I mean, not the greatest. I certainly would stick with a full 4-door if you actually are going to use the back seats. But this kind of seems like it has a good, well-rounded truck in general. You have some basic technology and features, and it is a nice place to be, to where if you're just not too interested in the extra bells and whistles, you're still going to get a nice to drive truck at the end of the day, even with a Bighorn, especially with this engine. So it's a nice truck to drive in. It's very quiet. So there's definitely a refined level that these new Ram trucks have in them, to where it doesn't feel like a base model truck as far as ride quality goes. So I think that's a pretty big plus to it. Gosh, that motor just pulls. I really want to rip it on this thing just to feel it out more, but gosh, you are not going to be disappointed when driving this. And given its capacities for towing, payload, everything like that, I mean, I'm pretty sure this truck is just going to handle it really well. So it feels like just a nice overall work truck, something you could kind of daily drive and use for general family things here and there, utility work. Kind of seems like this would be a sweet spot for that. Interior definitely is a little basic in here, but the ergonomics are nice. It's really nice to see just the climate controls right in the center, really easy to use. You don't have to just dive into a screen or anything like that. So I think that's a good touch to this truck, to where it is simple. In a modern day where most trucks are crazy, fully loaded luxury trucks, to have something that is kind of on the simple side and not crazy expensive is pretty comforting. And even though it's $58,000, there's discounts on these new trucks these days. So the discounts are kind of coming back to where you can get this actually for a lot less than MSRP, making it a pretty good value, I think, for what it is. Closer to maybe 50 grand for a nicely equipped modern truck. But driving experience, definitely nothing really too crazy about it. It's nice overall, and I think that's a pretty good plus.